Welcome to my channel. I hope you like video. Let's start. Emma woke to find her quaint village blanketed in an unnatural, thick fog. The fog was dense, more like a wall than a mist, and it muffled every sound, giving the morning an eerie stillness. As she walked to work, the usual sounds of birds and rustling leaves were absent, replaced by an unsettling silence. The fog seemed to cling to her skin, cold and damp, sending shivers down her spine. She noticed the odd way it swirled around her feet, almost alive. Something about the fog felt fundamentally wrong, but she couldn't pinpoint why. By noon, the fog had not lifted, and panic spread through the village as several children went missing. Emma joined a search party, trudging through the thick, white haze, calling out names that seemed swallowed by the fog. The air grew colder, and visibility dropped to mere feet, making it impossible to see where they were going. The fog twisted and moved, making landmarks disappear and turning familiar paths into confusing mazes. An eerie sense of being watched settled over the group, adding to their growing fear. As evening approached, Emma and a few others found themselves near an old, abandoned house on the village's outskirts. It had a dark reputation, rumored to be haunted, but desperation drove them inside. The house's interior was decayed and moldy, with the fog seeping through cracks and windows, as if the house itself was breathing it in. They searched room after room, but found no trace of the children. As they entered the basement, they heard faint, echoing whispers, sending chills down their spines. The whispers seemed to come from the fog itself, growing louder and more insistent. In the basement, the fog was so thick that it was hard to see anything. Emma felt a cold hand brush against hers, and she turned to see a shadowy figure materialize out of the mist. The figure had no discernible features, just a dark silhouette that seemed to blend with the fog. It reached out with long, thin fingers, and the air grew colder still. Emma's heart raced as she backed away, tripping over debris. The figure moved closer, whispering unintelligible words that echoed in her mind, filling her with dread. She screamed, and the figure vanished, leaving her trembling and alone. Emma researched the fog's origins, diving into the village's forgotten history. In the town's dusty archives, she found an old journal detailing a curse placed on the village centuries ago by a betrayed witch. The fog was a manifestation of her anger, seeking vengeance by claiming the souls of the innocent. The journal described rituals to summon and dispel the fog, but they required rare ingredients and precise incantations. Emma knew she had to act fast before more children were taken. Emma gathered a group of villagers, willing to help her perform the ritual. They were skeptical but desperate enough to try anything. The fog seemed to resist their efforts, growing thicker and colder as they prepared. They gathered the necessary items: a silver dagger, herbs from the old forest, and candles made from beeswax. Each person played a crucial role, chanting and setting up the ritual circle. The atmosphere grew tense as the fog pressed in, whispering and swirling with malicious intent. They began the ritual at midnight, the village's church bell tolling ominously in the distance. The candles flickered in the oppressive darkness, casting long shadows. Emma led the chants, her voice steady despite the fear gnawing at her. The fog reacted violently, thrashing and howling like a living beast. The air grew colder, and the fog seemed to push against the circle, trying to break their concentration. As they completed the final incantation, a blinding light burst from the circle, forcing the fog to recoil and scream. With a final, ear-splitting shriek, the fog dissipated, revealing the village and the missing children, dazed but unharmed. The villagers rejoiced, but Emma felt a lingering unease. She knew the fog was gone, but the witch's curse might still hold power. The village returned to normal, but Emma kept the journal close, ready to protect her home from any future threats. As the sun rose, burning away the last traces of the fog, Emma couldn't shake the feeling that something dark still lurked in the shadows, waiting for another chance to strike. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.